What's up, guys? We're here with Preston and Bobby Jordan, right?
Yes.
Bobby Jordan. Okay, we were discussing. Are you he or she?
Destination she.
Okay, so
I mean, I still have a bald spot.
Mhm.
You know, I got a lot of work to do, but I'm on hormones, and I'll get there someday.
That's awesome. Okay, so yeah,
So
we were,
cool.
we were trying to not. Good.
I was advocate she.
I mean,
Well, yeah, that's
walking
what-
around with cherry blossoms, calling myself a he. I'm not sure that works quite.
Yeah, there's a bit of dissonance there. I would agree with. Yeah.
Maybe a they.
Yeah.
We were saying she, but
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the comics misgender me, and I mean, I get it.
is it bother you or?
I'm 50, so nothing bothers me.
Yeah.
How you were 50 when you transitioned, right?
49. Yep, last year.
Wow.
So I
Why
started-
why such a late transit? What happened?
Well, I'll give you the elevator speech. So when I was a little kid, I liked to play with my sister's stuff. My favorite outfit was a nightgown. We had matching nightgowns, and it had some sports ball team on it. But it was basically a dress. And then I would sneak in and play with my mom's clothes. You know, the quintessential bullshit. And by the time I was about to hit puberty, I was still young enough to, be praying and stuff. And I'd be in the shower, like praying that God would make me a girl and all this stuff. So kind of ridiculous. And then testosterone hit, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I can stick my dick in that and in that and in that. And so you get caught up in that. And I grew up in a sort of rough neighborhood. So if you were even slightly, queer at all, you were getting your ass kicked. So I just kind of integrated, and then went on, met my wife in college. And, we were together for 8 years when we got married. And then we were together for 26 years total. In 2010, I came out to her sort of on an anniversary tryst. And she walks in. I waxed head to toe, shaved off my beard. I'd gone to Fair Villa. I went to the girl. I was like, make me look like a whore. And she walks in, and she's just like, ooh. And so we had fun. And she always would humor me. She knew my proclivities before that.
So she knew that you were like dabbling in this. It wasn't like one day you just like, oh, here we go. Or
Right. But then, I had grown a beard and, was kind of getting into fitness and working out and all this stuff. And then, I lost a bunch of weight and started like, ooh, looking at myself in the mirror. Oh man, oh yeah, there's that thing that you wanted to do. And so at the end of the weekend, I just kind of was like, so, what do you think about, Bobby Fim? And she's like, nope, grow the beard back. So I love my wife, and, we already had 2 kids together. So there was no point in, struggling against it. And like, I didn't know really much about transitioning, and it wasn't really a thing in 2010. It was,
Right.
it was sort of up and coming, but, I mean, I'm not gay, so it was like, what is this? My wife's like, are you gay? Do you like men? I'm like, no, I like you. I like women. I just kind of want to be one. So I left it alone, and 2012, she was diagnosed with cancer, and at that point, I knew I was in it for the long haul, and so I just put it on the shelf. And then when she passed away, in 2021, my son, my trans son, had just come out to her asking for a binder and stuff. And we already knew that he was gay because he was like trying to date chicks in like middle school. So we're like, yeah, okay. So she knew to come to me because I would know just what to do. And so I told him, I'll respect this, wait until after your mother's funeral. And then we can go ham. I'll support you in any way except for medical transitioning until you're 18. And I'll buy you whatever you need.
was your wife supportive, or was she?
I think that was her sort of seminal moment where she realized that the apple didn't fall far from the tree, and she asked me about it, but she passed away like a month and a half later. So it wasn't.
Sorry about that.
I'm
That's terrible.
so sorry about that. That's wild. Oh my gosh.
So you weren't gay in high school, or didn't know?
No, dated chicks, never been with a guy. I have been with a trans woman. Just because, I mean,
Curiosity.
well,
What was it while you were a man? Or
yeah. Actually, it was in 2023, which was when I decided to transition. I went out to Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But there was a structured agreement to meet up with a trans woman. And, we played our games. And then after that, I said, well, you're here for another 30 minutes. Will you just sit on the couch and talk to me? And so I asked her about what she was doing and sort of like asking her questions like you guys are. And she told me all about it. And I said, I actually came out to her. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I decided Jan 1 that I'm doing this. So that's why I kind of wanted to do that.
what's the first step of?
I mean, it's different for everyone.
So there's not like, hey, I want to be trans, and then you just like step 1 is this. It's a bunch of.
You could, I mean, there's sort of an order to things, right? So, first you're cross-dressing, right? You're like, okay, what is this? Some people have a lot of dysphoria around their genitals and stuff. I don't really have that so much. It's mainly my face and like my more manly things, like my shoulders and my boy butt and stuff like that. But you kind of just go through the paces. I went and rented a cabin in Georgia. I drove up there with a box of clothes and a box of makeup and just taught myself how to do makeup.
There you go. Your makeup looks great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
How old were you when you did your first face makeup? Your first?
Well, the first time was when I came out to my wife in 2010.
Oh, that was the first time.
Yeah, but it wasn't like full foundation and the whole thing. I didn't know how to feminize my face.
No, it's hard. It's hard as hell. I have to
can
do
imagine.
drag. It's a nightmare.
But February 2023 is the first time that I seriously tried to learn makeup. It took me about 3.5 hours to do half or ass a job than this.
Yeah, that's right.
It looks. I would be terrible. I see my girlfriend. It takes her like an hour, and I wouldn't wear makeup. It just.
And she does it every day.
Yeah.
I
I
had
did
a
this in 25 minutes.
It looks
slave.
great.
Yeah, get after it. Yeah.
Autism.
Yeah,
Practice makes perfect.
I had a drag show and I was like, I'm gonna get this together in like 2 hours. I started like 5 hours beforehand and I had to do it 4 times. And at the end, I was just like, we're just gonna do mascara and lipstick. Fuck this. It was bad. I looked like shit. I could not get the highlight at all. At all. I was like, I'm a painter. This should be fine. It wasn't fine. It wasn't fine.
Well, there's a great video. I can send it to you. It's this guy, and he's totally femme, but he still grows his beard out. He's not medically transitioning. He just, is femme. And he has this whole tutorial about how to feminize the male face and what you do differently from a female face to hide our more sort of gross features.
Well, you said you're getting like laser on your beard, right? You said you're like Tuesdays are bad for you because.
Yeah, so I did laser until all the pigmented hair was gone, and then I had to switch to electrolysis because my beard is all gray now.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had a beard. Fuck. I would kill for a beard.
Well, I'll show you what my beard was in the heyday.
Oh yeah, you got.
I saw the picture on Reddit. It was a great beard.
Oh, you saw the...
I read through your Reddit. Yeah, I was trying to.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I mean, I sent it to you, but I was like,
Yeah, I read
maybe
through
you'll
it. It
check
was.
it out, maybe you won't.
I didn't want to.
Slay. Oh my gosh.
It take press
Mustache.
3 lifetimes to go that.
3 lifetime. I wouldn't even get there. I mean, it'd just scraggle out of my neck, and I'd look like an idiot. Fuck. Yeah, nice stuff. Oh my gosh. I more of a man than me and more of a lady than me. You're killing the game, Bobby. How do you do it?
Well, I mean, I got pretty toxic after she rejected and said, I signed up for a man. I was just kind of like, okay, you want a man? I can act like a man.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I went down that road of the archetypal, asshole man. Started adventure racing. I was doing this expedition level stuff. I mean, just really ridiculous health nuts, century rides on my road bike, half marathons, paddling 10 hours, on a Saturday just for fun.
Did you genuinely enjoy those things, or were you trying to prove a point to your wife?
Well, autism enjoys learning new things.
I
Mhm.
hear you
Right,
there,
so,
brother. Yeah.
you know, right? It's like, how do I flip this? How do I flip this vape? And then all of a sudden you're, and then you're looking up videos, and then, you go, oh, 12 hours later, oh, look at me go.
You should see the
Mhm.
piano I fixed. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. So, how'd you get into the autism thing? What was your first clue?
My wife actually. So my son was having all the same problems in school that I had.
Mhm.
Didn't respect his peers, always wanted the attention of the teacher, constantly in trouble. His second grade teacher at the beginning called us in for a conference and was like, Ian just needs to learn. It's my way or the highway. I was like, honey, he's going to break you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the end of the year, she looked like she had aged like 3 years.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we do to people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was at the time. I just knew he was like me.
Yeah.
And so I ran across, autism, Asperger's, the whole thing, found this like, checkbox list. And
Yeah.
there's oddly specific things on there, like the
Mm.
seams of your clothes bother you, like seams in the toes of socks. Like I used to wear my socks inside out as a kid, or I would just absolutely lose my mind.
Mhm.
And I remember memories of like weirdness in my childhood that I got corrected for. I had echolalia. So I would
I do
repeat.
that big time. My cat, bro, I can nail my cat's meows. Any of my cats, when you repeat a noise you hear. Yeah.
Well, I would repeat everything that I said.
You repeat yourself? Okay.
I would
word.
repeat myself.
Double down.
Oh yeah. I got corrected out of that pretty quickly and had to internalize it. But like anyways, I found this checklist and I was sitting there at the, concentrating real hard, talking to my wife and, you know, going down the checklist, and I'd look up about halfway through the list and she's just got this shit-eating grin on her
Right,
face.
yeah.
And I was like, what? She's like, that's you.
Yeah.
That's your father.
Yeah.
That's your son.
Yeah.
That's the whole lot of you. And I went, oh, okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. So that was 15 years ago. And I used it as a framework for like how to not be an asshole, how
Yeah,
to
exactly.
get along with people. And I was able to graduate from web development into management and managing people and like giving them meaningful feedback and acting like I care about them.
Right. Yeah.
It's not genuine empathy, but it's a skill.
Well,
like
faked
that
and
could
real,
learn.
same. It all looks the same.
Right. Except I don't
You don't
feel
feel
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So
Gang.
I think everybody has a little bit of that.
sort of. I mean, different disorders
Yeah,
cause
yeah.
the same effect.
Do you still have the same hobbies now that you've transitioned? Are you still into stuff like that, or?
No, I mean, my last one was dirt bike racing.
Yeah.
I've raced for 5 years. I got to the third place in the championship in C class in my second year. I got promoted to the B class, was racing really hard, and then COVID happened.
Mhm.
And that was the end of dirt bike racing because I had just hurt my shoulder, and
Yeah, I
then
was gonna ask if you hurt.
then my wife got really sick, and so on. So
So sad. Oh my gosh. What my biggest fear in getting married is that my spouse just like passes away. That a brutal journey.
well, I mean, yeah, I loved her dearly. I would have never transitioned, honestly. If she didn't sanction it, I wouldn't have done it ever.
Hmm.
I would never have been disloyal or selfish in that way.
Are you happier? Not that your wife's gone, but are you happier that you transitioned?
Other people noticed it first.
Mhm.
They said that my eyes smile now. And
You're contouring. That's not fair. Yeah.
no, even without makeup,
I'm just kidding.
like people at work are just like, you seem different now. You seem happier. And this was before I even came out at work. I was still putting on a big show, because I was in a really tough project. So I was boy moding all day and then go home at night and slip into a dress and practice my makeup and then wake up and back to work the next day. So
How long were you in that like hiding? Not hiding, but like not being your true self for? That seems like really difficult to do for a while.
48 years.
I guess that's true, but
From permission forward. how long before you were presenting out? You know what I mean?
Oh, well, Jan 123
Yeah.
was when I went, okay, it's my turn. I'm doing
And you
this.
showed up to work one day in a dress?
No, it was a long road. Like I said, I was on a very tough project at work. It was consuming all my time, like 16-hour a day, 7 days a week for a couple months.
Mm.
And then it sort of tapered back to 12-hour days, 6 days a week, but still just very intense. So I was just focused on buying clothes, figuring out what fit my frame,
Mm-hmm.
what was flattering, what was not. Because my goal was to pass, right? Like that's the golden ticket if you can
Right.
pass.
Yeah.
And so, like these shirts are very flattering,
Mhm.
right? It accentuates my hips, even though I don't really have them. It hides my shoulders
Right.
with the little flaps. Um, accentuates my chest. It hides, a bra pretty well. And so I just really dove into clothing and colors and what to wear and what shape, and figured out what worked for me so that when I did come out, I didn't look like a dime store
Yeah.
hooker.
That's the move.
And at the same time, um, sex had always been like tied in with that identity because it was only a bedroom activity.
Mm.
And after this girl fucked me over, and I went, okay, I'm going to transition. Because I only had like one girlfriend for about 3 months after my wife passed, and it was like 2 years into it. And after that, like sex disconnected from this identity 100%. And the first articles of clothing that I bought were like an old woman's nightgown. I was trying to imagine what would I look like going to Publix. How do I want to look pumping gas into my car?
Yeah.
I need to scale. I'm not going to the club. I'm not getting out and doing things. I just sit at home drinking most of the time.
Vibes.
So I just baby stepped into it. And then I'd say about 6 months in, I was in my drinks one night. I had done a good job on my makeup. I was like, oh man, I'm out of beer. I'm going to walk to the store.
So that was the first time out in public.
Yeah.
I bet that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
I can imagine,
was
but that's like your real first test in the wild.
Yeah, and I know everyone at 7-Eleven. I've been walking up there for 20 years in the middle of the night because I'm constantly running out of beer and cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to drive, and Uber doesn't deliver cigarettes. So it's sort of healthy, It's like a 2 mile there and back, and I know everyone. They all know my name, at least Robert's name.
Yeah.
At the time, and I walked in, and the clerks didn't even recognize me because at the time I was passing.
Nice.
I mean, I had this fantastic wig. I just love it so much. I miss it a little bit.
Why no wigs?
It's hot.
It's
Okay,
so
that's,
hot.
Very hot.
that's fair.
So I knew I needed to scale out of it by the summer anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other thing, and I've got a funny story about this, is that I was passing. And so my next excursion was Southern Nights.
Mm.
And, there's a lot of chasers on ladies' night.
Yeah.
And they,
What is Southern? What is this? I'm out of the loop.
it's like the oldest gay club in Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right
District
by
Dive is like the little bar attached
Okay,
to it.
yeah.
So right behind that is a club. On Friday night, it's like dude gay night. On Saturday nights, it's like chick gay night.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get a bunch of straight guys that go there just hoping to see like a lesbian encounter or whatever. And they've got drag shows and whatnot. So those straight guys would like hit on me. And as soon as I talk, the jig is up. But, they'd come up, oh, guys have the cheesiest lines. It's so ridiculous. Hi, can I introduce myself? And I'm like, I don't shake hands, but sure. And he's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first time. And so then I continued to go out. I went to Savoy one night, and I tried guys' night, and I tried girls' night. But guys' night, they're for dudes, and I'm not there for anyone. I'm just there to listen to music and shake my booty or whatever. But I find ladies' night to be more fun. And there was this guy, I'll call him Push Broom McGee, because that's what his mustache looked like. Just this massive push brim. And he was about, I don't know, this tall. And I'm sitting on a stool and I'm just smoking cigarettes and I'm watching the giant bear man child. He, would rip his shirt off halfway through the night and everyone, oh. And he knew me because I was coming there a lot. And this guy just shuffles over to me and he's like, hey, how you doing? Just starts whatever. And I had nobody to talk to, so I entertained him for a while. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go get a beer. And so I walk over and I talk to the man child. And he had already touched me a few times, which I have a really big problem with. And I had told him not to touch me. And so I told the man child, I don't even know his name. I told him, there may be a problem and I'm sorry in advance, but this guy keeps touching me. And if he keeps it up, I'm going to make a scene. And he's like, oh, I got you. I was like, okay. So I walked back and sat on my Tuffet. And the guy, all of a sudden, the drag show lets out. And this guy just starts chasing around all the drag queens, trying to hey, and they all rebuffed him immediately.
Right.
One, they're hot. Two, they just got done working and they're not there to do that. They're there to talk to their friends. And three, he's just this little Super Mario character, running around chasing girl dicks. So he comes back to me with his tail between his leg and he puts his hand on my arm and I said, dude, don't touch me. And he's like, look, I'm here from out of town. And at this point, he's close enough to my ear that I can feel his whiskers on my ear.
That's not nice.
And his hot breath.
Yeah.
And I'm just and he's like, I want you to come back to my hotel room and I will suck your dick and I will swallow the whole thing and I will eat your cum. And I was like, well, as pleasant as that sounds, mister, I don't think so.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
He repeated the same thing to me about a dozen times.
That's a hard sell. Jesus.
That's a hard sell.
A dozen times?
He would not stop. And
Most
finally,
guys would be like, let's go.
I got to get more persistent.
well,
That's
no. That's shame on you. That's exactly.
I admire his courage. What can I do?
He was persistent.
Yeah.
And I finally drew the line because he leaned in again to say the same thing again, and he put his hand on my leg, and I took his hand and I put it away. I said, look, I am a fully cooked, testosterone-soaked male, and I'm 50 years old, and you're very small, and if you touch my leg again, I'm going to break your fucking arm. And he said, okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, want to suck you off after that.
I said, I'm going to go get another beer. And then I went to the restroom and then I found a table with one chair, not near anything else in the other bar. And I just sat there and he just kind of scuffled off and left after a
The
while.
boldest line I've ever. Could you imagine walking to a girl? I will eat your pussy.
That was a paragraph. That was a creepy ass paragraph whispered into his ear.
Whisper, walk up to a girl. I will eat your pussy
Yeah.
so hard tonight.
I will swallow your labia. I will bunch your lips up and suck them all at once like a dick.
It's got to work.
Yeah,
It works. It probably works on somebody.
I'm not mad about it. Listen, if someone said that to me,
Oh,
it
man.
would take a minute for me to say no. It wouldn't be an instant no. Yeah.
Is that a lick? What we got? Oh,
Ooh,
I'm good.
You want some vodka?
I'm
Okay.
good.
that's quite a cup of vodka.
You should have seen it earlier.
Oh, okay. That's for sipping then. Okay, good.
This is a sipping sanitizer.
So how long did you want to do stand up for?
Since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had Comedy Channel, before it was Comedy Central.
Oh my god.
And back then it was all comedy, stand-up comedy all day long, 24 hours a day. And I was out of school for the summer when we first got cable. And I sat in front of that TV until I wore a hole in the carpet.
Who's your person? Who's your guy?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not very good with names.
Mm-hmm.
if I hadn't seen your names a million times in the thread, I wouldn't know them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I did adventure racing to the point where I was doing 72-hour races, and you don't sleep. And after the first one, I realized like I was having memory problems
Mhm.
because it's just too long.
Yeah.
So I only did one more, and then I quit that sport because there was no further to go without getting more ridiculous.
What is adventure racing? What is that?
So it's not the mud runs. I have done mud runs, but those are like baby stuff. It's a very expensive sport. You basically gear up and you hike and bike and paddle, and you're looking for orienteering flags with a map and a compass in the woods. So I've raced across Florida twice.
For 3 days?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a triathlon, but but looking for stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
That does actually sound really fun.
That sounds so cool. Well, with sleep.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that
Mhm.
because up to that point, I had become quite the city boy.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like I didn't go out at night. I didn't, go out in the woods. And I was always in the woods as a kid. I just didn't have any fear of anything for some reason. And so that got me back out into the woods, appreciating nature. I mean, I've walked in swamps like this with my bike over my head in the middle of the night after like 10 inches of rain over a couple days with alligators like swimming by.
Well, they don't like bicycles.
They don't like humans. I've been this far from an alligator and they just don't mess with you. If you're this big, you're a snack.
That sounds terrible.
I'm
fucking terrified of alligators.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
No,
I was
they're not
terrified of
so bad.
everything
Yeah.
before I did that. But I mean, I've had banana spiders as big as my hand. just
Spiders, I'm
like-
good with spiders. A spider can't bite my arm off. That video, seen the video of this guy? He was like in Okeechobee, and he went out this bar to go pee, and he slipped in this water, and the alligator bit his entire arm off. He's like stumbling around. He's like, "Oh shit, my arm!"
Brutal.
It's like last summer. Yeah.
Molly doesn't give a
Tough
fuck.
luck.
Oh my God.
And I saw that video, and I was like, "Nah."
What, did he have a Twinkie in his hand or something?
I don't
He's
know.
like, oh, the gator's like, snack.
He's
Yeah.
covered in ketchup. He's like, why did it bite me?
It's terrifying.
This delectable man.
The alligator just wanted some of the ribs he was eating.
Yeah. The thing. Stumbled
That
in the
dude's
water, got
without a
sucked
whole left arm now.
up.
for-
It's a
for no
shitty arm,
reason.
Probably, yeah.
So you don't have a name. You don't know who your guy was that you liked or nothing.
I mean, there were the big ones, right? Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But I mean, the ones that were on Comedy Channel, they were just no names.
Yeah,
You know,
random,
it's like
yeah.
it was like open mic plus.
Mhm.
Because they were just burning through
you
content.
have to
They would,
fill a
a
week
lot of
of programming.
improv, stage stuff and things like that. So I
Mhm.
just honestly don't remember it. I mean, I remember seeing Norm Macdonald, when he was like doing open mics.
Yeah.
So a lot of big names that ultimately came up, but I couldn't tell you a particular
Mhm.
special or anything. Tim Allen.
Mm.
There was a really good show called it was Rodney's Place or something. It was Rodney Dangerfield.
Mhm.
And my favorite comic, I think, of all time was the Punk Rock Magician. And he comes out, he's dressed in a suit, he's just looking all sharp and dapper, pulls out a briefcase, opens the briefcase. He's like, I'm going to do the Punk Rock Magician. And I'm going to misquote this horribly, but
We can pull it up. If you
basically,
want.
sure.
How long is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Punk rock
How do I
magician.
pull?
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
it.
It's just right there. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, Dave Sleeves. Oh, this is
Alright,
beautiful.
fuck you! I'd like to do some magic for the people! Fuck you! Hey look, a little dead bunny rabbit! It's magic! Fuck! Oh look, it's a chicken with a spike through its fucking head! It's an illusion! Fuck you!
Could you imagine doing this at Milk or somewhere?
This is Winston Pickles.
Magic, I'm free! Fuck you! I'm fooling you! I'm fooling you and you don't like it. All right, nothing up my sleeve. It's a bird. Magic. Fuck you. All right.
Well, what's your hot 10, but bro? I got something for
Pick a
you.
fucking card. All right, look at it, remember it, and keep it in your fucking brain. Is it the 2 of clubs? Fuck yeah! It's magic! He was lying!
He was lying.
Alright, pick a fucking card. Look at it, remember it, and keep it in your fucking brain. Is it the 9 of hearts? Yeah. Fuck you! It's magic! Alright. I'm gonna stab myself. Who's gonna stop me? Fuck you. Ow, it hurts. It's magic. Go home and try that trick. Any knife will do. Alright. Watch close. Shut the fuck up.
The Australian.
Alright. Now you gotta guess if the ball's in the hand or the pocket. Ready? Hand or pocket? Hand, fuck you, pocket! It's magic! Alright, let's try it again. Ready? Hand or pocket? Fuck you, pocket! You people are stupid! I'm ruining you, you don't like it! Alright,
So this
let's
is-
try once more for the stupid people. You know
That's
who
crazy.
you are.
That's crazy. That's like the
Maybe you
memory you
don't
have.
know
Like
who
that.
you
That
are.
one thing. It's like I remember him. That's such a specific.
Well, by the time I was, I think I saw him once I was a teenager.
Mhm.
And, I said, going into puberty, I was like, and then I didn't know what to do. My first foray into transformative image was punk rock. There were a lot of film elements that I could participate in that were sort of part of the fads, like having T-shirts around your belt and sort of looking like a skirt and stuff. And so I had like a fire engine red mohawk, and I still have my punk rock jacket.
Those
Mhm.
vibes.
Yeah,
That's so cool. What's it look like? You have patches on it?
I've got a picture of that too.
Oh, hell yeah.
How's been your time doing stand up comedy? You
Yeah, I
because
like
you
doing
were
it.
you always wanted to, right? And what was the final straw? Because going to your first open mic is terrifying.
Not really.
Not after adventure
I guess.
racing.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been terrifying as Robert.
Mhm.
Because I didn't like how I looked. I didn't adorn myself. I didn't look cute. I wasn't handsome.
Mm.
I wore dirty ass shoes and the same shorts every day. I just, shorts and a t-shirt. That's what I wore all the time. I was just like, I didn't wear jewelry. I didn't wear a watch. I had my ears pierced when I was 17 and just never wore them. But I don't know. And
Yeah, that's crazy. So how long you been doing comedy for?
since March.
How you like it?
Well, I did it to celebrate my 50th birthday because
Mhm.
everyone was like trying to plan some over the hill BS, and I can't stand parties. I don't like being the center of attention in that way. Singing the songs and all. It's terrifying to me. I just hate it so much, and
It's a
presents.
Yeah.
And so I told everyone I wasn't doing anything. And then like a week before, I was like, you know what? I should do an open mic and invite everyone. And I didn't have any jokes,
Mhm.
but I found the Falcon Bar,
Mhm.
and I was like,
Well,
all right,
Falcon's
I've
the
got
spot for it.
I've got a week.
Yeah.
I've got a week. There's singing, there's poetry, like
There's-
there's gonna be lots of shitty content.
That's
Like
right.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
matter.
Yeah,
you
no one
know?
will bat an eye. if
I
this
think
is bad.
the people singing at Falcon are way funnier than any comic that walks in that door.
Oh my god.
That shit is so funny to me.
Man, I saw a guy there singing. He was like, I thought he was sitting down. He was just 3'11".
There's some terrible singers in there.
I've never seen anything like it.
Dude.
He's zipping around. Kind of had bars though. He's going
There was a white dude in there rapping, and he was like throwing an entire concert, and I was dying laughing. I was like, "This dude's so much more funnier than me," and he wasn't trying to be funny. He was like really trying to have a rap concert at Falcon, and I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because if he wasn't trying to be serious, it's hilarious.
Right. That's they have to sell it
Yeah.
so hard. I saw this lady who was selling it so hard. She was just trying to do like a power ballad, just out of tune, out of key, every note. Every note at the end, she was like, "Thank you, thank you." Like oh my god, it was so
Because
inappropriate.
everybody's like,
and it was like, Jesus Christ. Like,
"Oh my god!"
It was
Or
really
that old dude that comes in there and reads like war stories.
What?
There's an old dude, he like wears a suit and he like will read like a story.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Huh.
He just wants to read a story to people live.
Well, that's nice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not even in drag. What's the point?
No, he's in a suit. Like he's
No, I know. He's a storyteller.
Yeah, I mean, if you go there a lot, like you'll see, music
All types of
artists
stuff.
and spoken word and poetry and
Yeah.
yeah.
You like Falcon? Is that your spot? You live over there?
I mean, anywhere that you walk in and they know your name and pour your beer automatically, it's friendly. Blake's
Mhm.
always happy to see me.
Yeah. Listen, man.
I can make people laugh, sort of.
Mhm.
I hear you there.
And,
Yeah. I feel that.
So I don't go as much anymore because if I go, my face is all fucked up from electrolysis. It's all red and my
Oh, yeah,
beard's
Tuesday.
all like
Right.
half grown out and stuff. It's a little embarrassing, but some nights I just feel so awful that I'm just like, all right, I'm going out anyways. I don't care.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got nothing to worry about. Yeah, especially if you're come as you are at Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the it's hard to be the worst at Falcon.
Yeah.
It's a good contest. It'd be the
Illiterate
worst,
people walk
yeah.
into Falcon. Yeah.
It's a great show.
Another.
Have
vibe.
you have you done? You told me you had your first like showcase the other day, right?
It's on the 31st.
Yeah.
Where at?
Yeah. Blue Hookah Lounge.
Mhm.
Who's running that?
Missy is setting it up.
Mhm.
Missy Italian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tati. Yeah, she's the best.
Tatiana.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
so sweet.
Yeah, so I did an open mic there, and I don't know if the owner didn't like the open mic content or not, but after 1 week he just canceled open mic, and so they only do showcases.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I was like, was it me? Is it because I'm trans? I don't know.
It's a lot of people don't like the
Yeah, open mics fucking suck.
Yeah,
Is the thing about it.
yeah.
So I mean, the thing is that like there was actually a decent crowd that night in a really nice space, night, whatever. And so, anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna do that on the 31st, and then I was taking a break actually because I started getting sort of mouthy with the hosts. Well, I mean, I don't want to name a bunch of names. Ross at
Ross at Bull and Bush,
at
yeah.
Bush and Bull, the Cuck Show.
Uh-huh.
But I had never met Ross. I had never performed there. I walked in and I didn't really know, I saw people dropping numbers in a hat and, that's their format. And I just walked up and I was like, so, how does this work? He's like, put your number in the hat. I said, I did. Or your name. I said, I did. And he said, okay, well, when I call your name, then you come up and do it. I said, oh, how long do we have to come up? Because, I might go out and smoke. And he's like, oh, what do you think? You're special?
Yeah,
You
that's
could
where
just...
he gets. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
he like went off on me. I was like, look, dude, I don't know what fucking triggered you, but I'm just asking how your goddamn show works.
Yeah.
If you want to get a bunch of attitude with me, then that's fine. But if you don't want me to smoke, just say, hey, don't go smoke. And guess what? I'll sit through every fucking comic.
Mm-hmm.
He's very nice, but he's also can be not very nice.
He runs that show hard. A lot of
it's
people
hilarious.
have done him dirty.
Yeah.
there,
I think he just has bad days. Because some days he's like the nicest dude, and some days I don't talk to him because I was like, he's got the fire in his eyes that day.
I feel like a lot of people with kids have that, where it's just like 50-50. I'm talking to this motherfucker, and they're yelling at me.
Yeah.
Well, I intentionally went long on my show, and then somebody, I said something. I said, I don't know how much time I have left. And Ross was sitting over there, and he goes, you're already over. I was like, and the audience couldn't hear him, and I was like, well, Ross Dress for Less says that I'm already over, so I'll leave you with this.
Mhm.
And just kind of went like that.
Don't let Bullet Bush is probably our best mic in town.
No, it was a
Yeah,
great crowd. I have
don't-
nothing against Ross.
Ross
Like, I just-
rarely hosts.
Yeah.
Like the last month, he hasn't been hosting.
even if he did, we left that night square.
Mhm.
He got aggressive with me. I got aggressive with him.
yeah.
Neither of us should have done that.
Mhm.
And, that it is what it is. I asked the wrong question. I had no idea it was such an issue. I see it going on in other places.
Yeah.
So I instantly understood. I just didn't appreciate the
Yeah.
attitude.
No.
Yeah, nobody does.
I love your outlook, Bobby. That was
Yeah.
pinnacle. That was pinnacle processing right there.
Mhm.
So more recently, somebody just kept bumping me for all their friends.
Oh.
And like I literally
Shout them out. Where were they at? Which one?
Yeah, which club? Yeah.
Chronic.
Yeah,
I haven't been there yet either.
Oh shit.
So I did a double header. I wanted to do Falcon and then go to Chronic, and they said stop by early and you can sign up before you go to Falcon, and then come back and do Chronic. So I stopped by because I knew it was going to be a long night. I wanted to be early on the list, and they were doing the showcase before the open mic.
Mm-hmm.
So like once your headliners, the place drains out. So I was like, I want to go early. I'll do the thing. I know I can pull laughs.
Yeah.
And then I got bumped to like number 7.
Yeah.
And by the time I went on, there's like one lady there, and she's like snickering,
Yeah.
but like not laugh out loud. There's no energy in the crowd. And I started reading my jokes out of order. I was just doing them with no punchline. I was like, fuck this room.
Mhm.
So I probably won't go back there. I mean, it was a certain host, and like he introduced the open mic. He's like, okay, so now we're gonna do open mic, and they're just getting started, and some of their jokes aren't gonna be funny, but just humor them. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
bitch.
Welcome to the shitty part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your hands together
That-
for bad jokes.
If you want to leave, I'll give you $1. You know, like.
That happened to me last March at the Improv, and I haven't been back since. I got bumped from 3 to 29.
Oh.
Mm.
I haven't
And I was
stepped
like,
on the improv in a
Almost
minute.
fucking quit comedy. I was so mad. I was not gonna. I don't enjoy doing comedy there. So
And this particular host had done it to me twice before. And each
Mhm.
time he's very nice, oh, sorry, there's so many, oh, so-and-so just showed up. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but
And
it's-
that night I got a little mouthy with him, and I felt bad about it just because I was, I just feel bad about those things. Like I
It's-
don't want to shit where I'm eating, but at the same time, like
yeah,
he's like really triggering my control issues. Like if I want to go number 3, let me go number 3, because number 4 is not number 3.
I
Number
think
7 is definitely not number 3.
I think a lot of people take bumping as like a rite of passage, which is whatever. But yeah, I think
And I have. I did.
Yeah, it's just.
But the third time, I was like, okay, this is a pattern.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's not. I've never been more bad than getting bumped from 3 to 29.
It's so annoying. Especially if you have to drive out to iDrive.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
And pay for parking.
yeah. It was the most bad I've ever been at doing comedy, other than last Sunday. I could have cried.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
What happened?
I just wine drunk. I was just bombed. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. I had people there to watch me, and I just knew it was gonna go. But I was like, "Y'all are here. I'm about to fucking bomb." And I go up and just eating it. And there's 4 different conversations. We sold it out. It's sold out. There's 4 different conversations going on. I'm going dead last. Everybody's hammered. And I was doing my furry joke, and there was a lesbian over. She's like, "What the fuck is a furry?" And like talking to her, she's like, "What's a fucking furry? What is this bullshit?" And like screaming it, and she's hammered, and I'm just like, I'm gonna tell you if you just let me. She's like, "What the fuck is a furry?" And she just kept screaming it. And I'm just like, "Oh no!" And then people to my right were having a conversation. They were like, "Oh, I know what a fucking furry is." Yeah, and it was terrible. It was just people just screaming at a conversation, and I was just, it was terrible. People there watching me bomb.
Yeah.
They're having a conversation. I was like, do I be mean to them? Do I? And I ended up being an asshole and then just being a dick.
Did it break through or was
No, it
worse?
just
Yep,
made it
Just
worse.
made it worse. Yeah.
But it made me feel better, I
Yeah, well,
guess.
that's good.
But
yeah.
no, it never. It was 4 minutes in. I was like, give me the light. I gotta get the fuck off here.
Brutal. Damn.
Did a whole 10 with no, just bombing.
It's the worst when you invite people. To
I
the
didn't invite
show.
them. There's like, we're
Oh.
showing up, we're coming.
Oh.
We want to watch you perform.
Yeah, I've had a handful of
That's-
those. So it's the same amount of pressure.
I hate it.
God, who were they? You know them well? Like
Yeah, they were
close
my
people?
military buddies.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Work friends.
One I hadn't seen in like 5 years. And he's
Mhm.
just like, hey, I'm in town. I'm come watch your set.
Yeah. Last time I did Wine Drunk, my buddy showed up, but he showed up after I went up.
Mhm.
I was like, "You're okay, dog."
But you killed that night. But it was.
I wouldn't have if Joel was there.
I'm never nervous doing wine drunk, dude. I was having a panic attack
Yeah.
about to do. Like I was like marching and then just pacing back and forth. I was like, I'm about to bomb.
You ever invite people to a show other than the first one?
I mean, I do, but people are flaky, and I found that if they told me that I was coming, and then I'm getting texts leading up to the thing, like, "Oh, I'm not going to make it," and then like the cancellations would get me all in a bad mood, and
That's
then
right.
like begrudgingly doing my jokes.
Mhm.
Like you don't feel fun
Yeah,
anymore.
just taking it out on them.
So I quit inviting people. Really,
It's not good. You want to just do your thing and
Yeah.
quietness.
I mean, I'm inviting people to the showcase just because I feel like, okay, I'm tearing up, one
Mhm.
level. So, come check me out. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 4 months now.
Mhm.
So,
There you go.
see if I've made any progress. And
Yeah.
You're
That's-
getting put on shows. You're making progress. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I quit doing comedy for 2 weeks. I didn't do it from Sunday to like the following Wednesday, and I was just, I can't go up there again. I can't face that demon again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, on fire.
And then I went up last night and bombed again.
Really?
Yeah.
Good material? Material? No work?
It was like 7 minutes of new shit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I meant to do that. I was like, if I bomb, I'm gonna bomb because it's new shit,
Yeah.
not because my good shit isn't working.
What was last night? Thursday?
Yep, yeah,
Milk. Okay.
yeah,
word.
yeah. Just bomb for 7 minutes up top. And I think you'll have a good.
Yeah. I dropped it on that heckle mic at Grumpy's on Tuesday. I ate shit. I was doing new material. I was like, okay, I don't know any of this. It was so bad. I'm making jokes about my water pick. I'm trying to work clean. It's not clean. Oh, nightmare. And then at Falcon, the jokes did great. At Falcon, I killed. But at Grumpy's, I ate a dick big time. Getting heckled too. You do any of the heckle mics?
not yet.
They're,
You'd have a great. I don't know if you might not, but everybody else would have a great time.
Yeah, if
You-
you,
you
have
would be-
control things, you're gonna
Yeah.
get angry fast, and that's gonna be so fun for everyone.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. You'd
yeah.
they'd be a good sport. We had one dude come in with no legs, and it was hilarious.
What?
Yeah, he rolled himself in. He's like, I'm here for the heckle mic. He's like, I'm here for the mic, and we had to pick him up and put him on stage. 'cause he didn't want- Yeah, it was just hilarious. Yeah,
He was funny.
no,
Oh, okay.
No. no, not at all. Probably one of the unfunniest dudes I've ever seen. But everybody roasting him was funny. Yeah, that was great. It's interesting. It gets interesting. I don't like it. It sure hurts my feelings.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. Those aren't bad. Oh, you know the Tim Dillon show? You guys watch Tim Dillon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Dillon's
I just watched this Alex Jones one.
I just watched his Alex Jones one too. Tim Dillon is a comic. He's like he's gay, but he's Republican, I think, and he's got this really right leaning pod, but it's just his rant style is so funny. It really brings you in, and he's just like not PC, and he's real grumpy and stuff. We're doing shades now, dog.
You told me the other day. You said that when Trump gets elected, you're probably gonna get beat up or something. What do you think is going to change from this guy to Trump?
Nothing immediate, but
Mhm.
I mean, like I almost ran away to Vermont last summer because I was just about to have my appointment to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria and start HRT, and it was like back to back a whole bunch of anti-trans laws came through at the state level.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the rhetoric going into the campaign with Trump is just anti-trans, and I'm just seeing it becoming more of a repeat at the national level.
Mhm.
And so it's going to get harder to get coverage. It's going to get harder to get hormones. and just it's really the divisiveness. I don't think that there's going to be the trans police running around rounding us up,
Right.
at least in the first few years.
Yeah.
But it
That's a
gets
2028 problem.
it gets people whipped up.
Yeah.
Whatever the motive or whatever the cause. I mean, I don't lean right or left really at all. I'm right in the center. I don't like divisiveness. I like inclusiveness. I like everyone to sort of get along.
Right.
The left offends me on the far end just as much as the far right. So I think it's sad what's happening more than anything, but just a lot of the language that's being used in some of the darker parts of the web is very aggressive and hurtful. And I mean, I'll go in a coffin before I go back in the closet. This is me. And I mean, I'll order flower shit from Thailand if I need to continue my transition. I'm not stopping. But it is going to get harder.
Wait, what do they sell in Thailand?
Flowers? Oh, well, I mean, Thailand's like notorious for ladyboys and stuff. You can get all kinds of herbal concoctions. It's bad for you. Right now, I'm being monitored. My blood is monitored. Everything's safety. My growth is predictable. I have an issue. I go to my doctor. I say, hey, I heard about this. And, we'll add this. And, you get to 8 months and, now you can do progesterone. So it's all very ordered and I feel safe right now.
Yeah.
But I'll go buck wild if I have to. I mean, I did illegal drugs my entire teenage years. So
what changed when you went on the hormones?
Yeah.
What was the
Everything.
how big of a difference was it? Because does it take away your testosterone or does it? Yeah.
So there's two things that you do. You take a testosterone blocker, and that brings your T down to minimal levels.
How does that feel? Probably feels terrible, right? Or
no, it felt great.
yeah,
Felt great.
Like
That song? That song that you hear every single day? It's always playing. There's a radio in your head. You can stick your dick in that.
Yeah.
That
oh,
song.
it's gone.
Somebody turned off the
I
radio.
like that thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
They
That's
turned off the radio, and it was so refreshing because I was swimming upstream my entire life. Like I was surrounded by douchebags that just wanted to dip their stick, and like that wasn't me.
Right.
I met my wife. I loved my wife, and I married my college sweetheart and saw her to the grave. That's what I'm about. And the testosterone was just always getting in the way. Like,
That's right.
oh, who's that over there? Ooh, what's that over there? Like constant masturbation and, porn and all this stuff. And like, it just all stopped. It was so refreshing.
Did you still get horny?
I can get interested.
Yeah.
It all still works.
Right.
It's just not.
You're not.
I don't. The
always
wind doesn't
thinking
blow,
about,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh my fucking.
Yeah.
Like.
See a good lump on the floor, and you're like, "Dang, girl, let me."
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate, and that's the other thing is that like. I've always been obsessed with women's clothing, and I was always assessing them in that way, but also like, oh shit, she also feeling that real nice, Like I'd like to get up in there. Those thoughts don't occur to me anymore whatsoever, and I love that because
it's also
women
more yourself or something,
Women know.
Yeah, that's true.
I can
too.
make genuine female friendships now, and that's all I've ever wanted in life, but. They always think you're an interested party. There's always an ulterior
Well,
motive.
that's usually the case. But so your testosterone drops. What happens next?
So then you take estrogen.
How's that make you feel?
Well, so being there's a new term that I ran across just last night. It's related to autism, and I've been trying to figure out the whole model of my brain because the psychiatrist ghosted me. But like I don't store emotional memory, so I'll experience something. I can experience emotion. I know what anger feels like. I know what sadness feels like, but my brain doesn't store that. So it just tosses it away, and then I remember the experience, but I don't remember the emotion or how it made me feel. I'm having way deeper emotional experiences now. where emotions used to be like out on the horizon. And like if I wanted to be sad, oh hey, come over here, let me play this song, and ooh, I feel it, the song goes off, and I don't feel it anymore. On estrogen, it came to like right here, so it was just like, oh, let me play this song. Oh shit, I'm crying, you know.
That's such a, because my girlfriend's like emotional sometimes. I was like, I'm not feeling what you're feeling. Like it's not, we're not the same. And how that's so interesting. I wish I could feel it for a day. I'm like, oh, this is how you feel sadness.
Well, you gotta want to grow tits.
No, I don't. I just like just to have that experience would be valuable because like you just don't understand what's going on there. Why are you crying?
Well, the boobs don't grow. I mean, you
Mhm.
could, I mean, you could take estrogen for a month and experience like most of the mental effects occur really quickly.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Eat what? Eat edamame.
No.
Yeah.
No, the phytoestrogens, they're not processed in the same way. I mean, everyone thinks that soy makes you, you
Mhm.
know, gay or whatever, and the whole derogatory soy boy thing, but it's not really a thing.
So T down, estrogen up.
Yep.
Was it how, and what type of time frame?
So I'd say within a month, I was feeling the budding under my nipples. Um, my T dropped to like rock bottom because I mean I'm aging anyway, so it's
Right,
already
yes,
sort of
yeah.
declining. But I mean, as soon as I started taking Spiro, like the T was gone. That was days, and then the estrogen, you know, within a week, it was like a fog lifted. Like I had, you know, somebody was putting diesel in my tank my entire life, and all of a sudden they give me unleaded, and I'm like, you know, revving down the street.
Mhm.
Like everything changed. My entire like my feelings of nihilism, my objectification of other humans.
I'm kind of retarded. What's nihilism mean?
Um, burn it all.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
You know, like
Hmm.
what's the point?
Right.
What's worth living for?
Hmm.
I did everything that I did, and my wife's dead. I did everything that I did, and people think I'm a monster because I hurt their feelings, and I don't know what those are. You know, so fuck it, burn it all, and all of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the punk
Yeah,
rock
I
was-
mean, yeah. Punk rock was an excellent vehicle in my teens. You know, for experiencing that. Yeah, I mean, I studied that in college and read Nietzsche and Sartre, and you know, I mean, I did philosophy and all that stuff. I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm constantly trying to figure out like what the hell is wrong with me that I can't be like normal people and go, hey, this is fun. Let's participate in society and, you know, have friends and smile at each other and be happy.
Mhm.
Like that shit didn't exist for me the rest of my life before,
Hmm.
you know.
What'd you
Last
study in
September.
college?
Hmm?
What was you studying in college? All the stuff, yeah.
Well, it took me 4 years to get a 2-year degree
Mhm.
because I graduated from Valencia with 106 credit hours.
Mhm.
You only
Damn.
need 60.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just took everything. I took drafting. I took tennis. I mean, I dropped out of high school and like I just couldn't deal with
too.
like how stupid it was. And I went to college and got a honors degree.
Mhm.
And then I tried to go to computer science, but there was some herky jerky. I tried to go to Gainesville. My wife's like, no, we're going to Orlando. So I tried to go to UCF. There was a whole bunch of drama there. And I dropped out. I got my first job as a webmaster back in the 90s and never looked back.
There you go. Oh, God. That's cool as shit, Bobby.
How much does it cost to transition?
Oh, that's so interesting. Probably more in Florida, huh?
I mean, the costs never end.
So it's just a never, because you, I guess, hormones every month, and
Yeah,
it's never.
I mean, I'm on, like, I'm the kind of person that had Cadillac insurance their whole life and never used it.
Mhm.
Like, I never went to the doctor unless I was hurting myself somehow.
Yeah.
You know, like a sprained knee or broken ribs
Yeah,
or
what happened
whatever.
to your knee?
What's that?
What happened to your knee?
Oh, Well, that's another weird effect that I'm experiencing. I'm very agile,
Uh-huh.
but I've gotten very clumsy recently.
Mhm.
And I don't know whether it's adding the progesterone, because that's the only thing that's really new. But I don't know. Just
Life.
no. I mean, I'm really, really agile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's odd. And I mean, I banged this knee yesterday, banged this knee this morning. I don't know.
That's very interesting. I feel like a lot of women in my life are not able to stop from running into shit.
That's a good.
Is that?
Maybe it just comes with being a woman.
Yeah, maybe this is lady shit.
Hit a lot of curbs and.
Yeah, I have no. You joke, but I started taking I started taking my son to work, with his bike and my pickup, and then he rides his bike home because it's just so hot to ride there during the day.
Yeah.
And it's in the Grove, and so we do this little circuit. We drive through the thing, and then we come around to the back of Jeremiah's, and I drop him off, and then I pull out, and there's this 90-degree turn, and I swear to God, and it's just recently, like I clean that curb every day, no matter what.
Maybe
I've
it's
raced
something
dirt
about being a
bikes,
woman.
I've raced carts. I mean, I am was a really, really good driver. I mean, you busted me. Did you see that parking job?
I saw it.
That doesn't happen. That's new.
It's a real woman.
Yeah, you need to tell women.
Well, I mean,
you need to tell women about both sides. Okay.
Like, hey, I used to be good.
well, so that's one of the things that I am trying to do is just kind of highlight both sides of
Yeah,
it.
gender ambassador.
Yeah, for sure. The way you can understand like a man's emotion and a woman's emotion has to be very valuable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not speaking for the trans community. I know just a handful. I'm part of several communities,
Mhm.
but there's a recurring theme of emotional damage, emotional baggage, hurt, rejection, things like that.
Sure.
I feel like my transition has been stupidly easy. I
Mhm.
almost feel bad, because I don't know how to integrate with groups that there is a lot of hurt and a lot of emotional support required.
Mm.
But it allows me to sort of really see what's going on in a more objective fashion. And like I go into the doctors and they're like, oh, my little researcher's here. Because I just go in chock full of information.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm experiencing this, this, and this. I think it's that. And there's this new word. What do you think about this? And they're like, yeah, that jives.
Yeah.
But, that's statism.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. I've blown away many a doctor.
I just need you to write me this script.
Yeah. I'm thinking 50 milligrams. Yeah.
I mean, when I smoke too much and I go into Centricare, they know me.
Mhm.
They're like, "Okay, you're here for prednisone." Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, "Should we check you out?" No.
Yeah.
No, I gave myself bronchitis again. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Mm.
That was so me. Like that was me like last fucking month. Oh my god. It really took a bite out of me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Am I trans? We might have the same life. Fuck, I'm sweating.
Well, I can send you a site. Or I'll just tell you. It's called genderdysphoria.fyi.
I just started doing the working out. I'm like a couple adventure races.
You gotta keep
away.
that testosterone, dude. You
Yeah,
gotta.
it's a grind. I'm trying to put on weight right now. It sucks. I just got
Be
down
a
to
dainty little
145.
woman.
I'm dainty as shit right now. I really do fill out the drag dress. It's not bad. But fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, I tried everything to remain a male.
Mhm.
I just did because this is a lot of work. I mean, I've done some epic shit in my life. This is not the most interesting thing about me. It will probably be what I'm remembered for, but
I'm thinking adventure racing. I'm not gonna lie to
no,
you, dog.
nobody knows what it is.
Now I do.
Like unless
I'm gonna tell everyone, Bobby.
Hey, bro, you wanna go adventure racing?
Yeah.
I mean, but the dirt bike racing was exciting. That like some of the work that I've done in my life is really interesting.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But like,
You're pulling extreme hours as well, which is incredible.
What's that?
You're pulling extreme hours as well, which is incredible.
Oh, I don't like doing that.
Yeah, but it's
I
still
mean,
like-
I did it when I was 20 and 30, and that's how I knew I could do it for a short time on this project that was on fire. But I'm done doing that in my
Mhm.
life.
What were you doing at that age?
Programming.
The same projects.
Yeah.
Different stuff.
I mean, I got into computers when I was, I don't know, in college and taught myself how to program and figured out I was really good at it. There's a lot of synonymous activities to transitioning that I've done that sort of, now that I look back at like line by line comparison, were just sort of a practice run for the types of things that I was going to experience going through this. Like with computer programming, I ran across a term at the time called imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And comics go through it too,
Yeah.
right?
Every day.
But I mean, it was
Right
it
now.
was it was 12 years before I felt like a real programmer.
Right. Yeah.
And it was about the first time that I sort of did my first reference architecture, and I really, got really intricate. I wasn't just copying and pasting stuff from books or Stack Overflow. And I was like, I'm a real programmer,
Mm-hmm.
And I experienced that with the trans thing too, because, it's like, am I really trans? Like, am I making all this up?
Mhm.
But then I pulled, 30 pair or a 30-year-old pair of 6-inch stilettos out of the closet, and they're all beat up because I used to dance in them.
Mhm.
Maybe there's something to it,
Yeah.
maybe there's something there, but that site genderdysphoria.fyi, it just kind of goes through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was already on hormones by the time I found it, because unlike autism, I didn't go down the rabbit hole on trans.
Mhm.
I just went, this is what I'm doing. I know that it's there. I know what it, and I'm just going to figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
The autism, I went down the rabbit hole. I've read countless studies and all this stuff. So I ran across this site just sort of after I started joining communities and, like on Reddit, and I found a Discord recently, all very, very nice people. But that site just has everything, and sort of like the Asperger's list, the check boxes of shit that you did. I'm reading this thing, and I would just start weeping, because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm like reading a menu of my early life, and a menu of like what it was like to be RAR man, and all the bullshit that I pulled to, keep people off the trail, which I did. Nobody knew except my wife.
How'd your parents?
My wife, or my mother, is in the grave.
Okay.
She was in the grave before I came out, so she never knew.
Mm-hmm.
It would have broken her heart. She was a love sponge, so she would have figured out a way, to get over it. But she was a fundamentalist Christian, but not the aggressive kind.
Mm-hmm.
In her early days, she was a little more so. But my dad, I don't really talk to anymore, and it's not because of this. It was just because he's an asshole.
Fair enough.
And he pulled some shit one time when I went up to visit with him, and I told him to go fuck himself. And I haven't talked to him since.
Right on.
Good boundary. Gotta have boundaries.
Yeah.
I guess we can. I'm gonna keep you here all night long.
Yeah,
so
what
I guess
time
we-
is it? How long have we
I guess
gone?
we can get out of here.
So
Yeah.
dude,
All right.
yeah.
What's your Instagram? Let's get out of here.
Instagram, KilSecDDD, KILSEK. KILSEK DDD. That's D as in dick. D as in dick. D as in dick.
Oh, I'm Preston. I'm at Preston Canavan on Instagram.
All right. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Thank
P
you
as
for
in
coming so much.
penis. Sorry.
Thank you for coming so much.
Let's get out of here.